The top 10 terrifying last words of crashing pilots. Imagine this. You're thousands of feet above the ground, cruising smoothly through the skies. Everything feels routine, safe even, until suddenly it all changes. In those last harrowing moments before a crash, the black boxes on board capture every word spoken in the cockpit. These final words, often filled with terror, confusion, or eerie calm, provide a chilling insight into the moments before disaster. Today, we explore the top 10 most haunting last words of pilots. Before we dive into today's harrowing stories, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update from Air Focus. We bring you the most detailed and spine-chilling aviation documentaries, and you won't want to miss a single one. Number 10. Western Airlines Flight 2605, The Night Owl's Tragic Landing. It was Halloween night in 1979 when Western Airlines Flight 2605, known as the Night Owl, made its final descent into Mexico City.
Flight known as the Night Owl was on its way from Los Angeles to Mexico City, on its way to a crisis.
The city was shrouded in thick fog and visibility was severely reduced. The pilots, misjudging their approach, landed on a closed runway cluttered with trucks and workers.
We're cleared on the right. We're cleared on the right. Is that right? No, this is approach to the goddamn left. Yeah, it's 500.
Moments later, the aircraft collided with a truck and slammed into a building. The black box recorded the pilot's frantic last words. The crash claimed 72 lives, marking one of the deadliest aviation accidents in Mexico's history. Number 9. Delta Flight 191, A Deadly Encounter with Nature.
Oh, is that what they look for?
Yeah, you know that Continental that crashed in Denver? Did you read that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they were talking about dating habits of one of the flight attendants. Had a real nice. All right. Laugh, you know. We got to leave something for our wife and children to listen to.
On August 2, 1985, Delta Flight 191 was nearing its destination in Dallas when it encountered a violent microburst, an intense downdraft associated with thunderstorms. The sudden burst of wind slammed the aircraft into the ground, causing it to skid across the runway, collide with a car, and crash into 2 water tanks. The final desperate words of the pilots were captured in the last seconds before the plane exploded, killing 137 people. Number 8. Atom Air Flight 574, vanishing into the depths. On New Year's Day 2007, Atom Air Flight 574 was flying domestically in Indonesia when it suddenly disappeared over the Makassar Strait. The pilots had lost control, and the aircraft plunged into the sea, taking all 102 people on board with it. The black box recorded the pilot's last words, a brief and haunting echo of confusion, before the plane vanished into the depths. Number 7. Air Florida Flight 90, A Winter's Fatal Embrace. January 13, 1982, brought a bitterly cold day to Washington, D.C., as Air Florida Flight 90 took off from National Airport. Icy conditions had formed on the wings, and just after takeoff, the plane failed to gain altitude. It crashed into the 14th Street Bridge and plunged into the icy Potomac River. The last words from the cockpit, filled with disbelief, were,
Let it
The crash resulted in the deaths of 78 people, including 4 motorists on the bridge. Number 6. TAM Airlines Flight 3054, a fiery tragedy in Sao Paulo. On July 17, 2007, TAM Airlines Flight 3054 was on a routine domestic flight in Brazil when it attempted to land on a wet, short runway at Congonhas Airport in Sao Paulo. The aircraft skidded off the runway, crashed into a nearby warehouse and gas station, and exploded in a fiery inferno. The final moments, recorded on the black box, are filled with the pilot's desperate attempts to control the aircraft, but all 187 people on board and 12 on the ground perished. Number 5. Royal Air Maroc. Flight 630, a deliberate descent into tragedy. On August 21, 1994, Royal Air Maroc Flight 630 departed from Agadir, Morocco, bound for Casablanca. However, the flight would never reach its destination. In a shocking turn of events, one of the pilots deliberately crashed the plane, killing all 44 people on board. The final moments recorded on the black box reveal the chilling decision made by the pilot, forever marking it as the deadliest crash involving an ATR-42 aircraft.
Não vem rápido, vem devagar, traz devagar. Não perde o eixo. Tá desbalanceado. Arruma esse combustível pra mim. Vou morrer. O que você fez?
Number 4. Good night, goodbye, we perish. The final moments of LOT Polish Airlines Flight 5055. On May 9, 1987, LOT Polish Airlines Flight 5055 was en route from Warsaw to New York when disaster struck shortly after takeoff. An engine shaft exploded, leading to a catastrophic chain of events, including engine failure, a fire on board, and loss of control systems. Despite the crew's desperate attempts to return to Warsaw, it became clear that the situation was hopeless. In the final moments, Captain Zygmunt Pawlacik uttered the haunting words,
"Good night, goodbye, we all perish."
Minutes later, the plane crashed into the Kabadi Woods, killing all 183 passengers and crew on board. This tragic incident remains one of Poland's deadliest aviation disasters. Number 3. A fatal design flaw. Turkish Airlines Flight 981. March 3, 1974 is a date forever etched in aviation history. Turkish Airlines Flight 981 was cruising towards its destination when a design flaw in the cargo door caused it to blow off mid-flight, leading to explosive decompression. The pilots, caught off guard, fought desperately to regain control of the DC-10, but it was too late. The plane plummeted to the ground near Paris, killing all 346 people on board. The cockpit recordings are filled with confusion and desperation as the pilots' voices are drowned out by the deafening roar of rushing air. Number 2. Gol Transportes Aéreos Flight 1907, a deadly collision in the skies. September 29, 2006 marked a tragic day in Brazilian aviation history. Gol Flight 1907 was flying from Manaus to Rio de Janeiro when it collided with a private jet over the Amazon rainforest. The 737 lost half of its wing and spiraled out of control, crashing into the jungle and killing all 154 people on board. The other aircraft, despite damage, managed to land safely. The final moments in the cockpit were filled with a chaotic mix of alarms and fragmented words as the crew tried in vain to save the aircraft. Number 1. The mystery of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans.
Perhaps one of the most perplexing aviation mysteries of our time, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 disappeared on March 8, 2014, while en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. The final radio communication from the cockpit seemed routine, but moments later, the plane vanished from radar, never to be seen again. Despite extensive search efforts, only fragments of the wreckage have been found. The mystery of what happened in those final moments continues to baffle investigators and haunts the world to this day.
Morning, level 250, Malaysian 370.
Malaysian 370, climb flight level 350.
Climb level 350, Malaysian 370. Malaysian 370, maintaining level 350.
Malaysian 370.
Malaysian 370, maintaining level 350.
Malaysian 370. Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Flying is often lauded as one of the safest modes of transportation, yet these tragic incidents remind us of the inherent risks. In those final moments before disaster, the words of the pilots provide a window into the chaos, fear, and sometimes eerie calm that accompanies the inevitable. If these stories have gripped you, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Air Focus for more in-depth and spine-chilling aviation documentaries.